So Arrowhead was started in 2008. Warner Brothers really liked what we did with Magic, and they started talking about all of these games that we could potentially make. And then one of the guys says, "Wait, we got this other IP. What was it?" And he turns to one of the other guys and he looks at him and says, "Oh, it's Gauntlet." And me and Emil just stare at each other and go like, "Did he just say Gauntlet?" And we have this moment of telepathy where we sort of communicate and we're saying to each other like, "Don't freak out, then we're gonna give it away that we want to do this game." And so 5 seconds later we freak out.
When we started doing 3D, it just instantly became so clear and so obvious that this is the way to go. Especially with the animation, the possibilities you have with rigging and creating your own tools in Maya and writing all that stuff yourself. It's just so powerful in that sense.
We actually developed scripts for Maya, which means we can import stuff really nice and easily into the engine, because a lot of the files and stuff that work in the game engine are actually sort of text-based. We can sort of pull them apart and we're kind of like, okay, this is how they work, this is how the stuff is. And so having everything data-driven is really great, because you can just sit there with settings files open, and you can sort of sit there and just tweak health values and things like that and have it instantly represented in game, and just like tweak the number and then go back to the game. It's like, okay, that sort of works.
It's really nice that the engine, it's for anything. It's up to you to kind of do that. So you don't have this kind of process where you're questioning, should we do a switch now because we decided to do a different genre game. So we know that the time we invest in getting better at using that is something that we can use regardless of where we want to go creatively in the future, which is really nice.
So we finished working on Gauntlet, we got it all done, we got it all wrapped up. Being a Steam game, a Steam release, we're working right up until the last minute, and so it was like, oh wow, today is actually launch day. And the sort of realization started hitting that this thing that you've been working on and like sweating over and pouring your heart and soul into for the last 18 months, I guess, making it was going to get released. People were buying the game and immediately streaming the game, and that is something that like I've definitely not had before, because it's such a new thing that's sort of happened, is that you can see people live for the very first time that they're experiencing it, playing your game and commenting on it, and you can just watch this creation that you sort of let loose into the wild happen, and you can see everyone's first response to it and how they feel about it and how much fun they're having with it. And so we were here ridiculously late in the office. Like, I think we had sort of release day champagne and beers and stuff, just to like, yeah, this was great. And we're just sitting there on the sofa in front of the TV just watching people play our game. And then we were we got to the point where, well, we can get involved. So we were actually like chatting to the streamers as they were playing our game, going like, oh, and commenting on stuff. And that was super awesome, just to have that sort of that fun connection, just to see it kind of born and live and people respond to it. That was incredible. That's something I've not experienced before, and it blew me away.